My friends, last week on 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago on Lights, a bunch of stuff happened. Our friends here stumbled onto a whole bunch of spooky, suspicious stuff. It all began when Myriad's character Cassie started having all sorts of weird visions about labyrinths and seeing things painted on the wall of her apartment. She was then eventually asked by a Nosferatu named Sunshine to go and find Mornion's character, the Nosferatu Drex, who had been missing for 3 nights. Drex, it turned out, was staked and being held in the basement of a place called Edgewater Hospital by some other character named Silver, who was acting a little weird, a little strange, who took some blood from Dex and told Dex that he needed him to find out where the Tremere Regent, Charlotte Rojas, sleeps at night. And if he did, he would get his blood back, and if he didn't, all terrible things would happen to him. He then released Drex. In the meantime, Helena had gone down into her shop to find that her 2 employees, who were human, had been assaulted by what appeared to be a vampire who bit them but did not draw blood and left a present behind, a black cobra snake, now called Gilgamesh, Gil for short, Destroyer of Worlds, which Helena was more than happy to keep in her shop. Meanwhile, Teddy was having a little bit of a haiku reading session with one of her clients, Mr. Takamura, who was being tattooed, and he and Teddy had a bit of an evening as she read Japanese poetry to him. They later discussed the notion of loyalty and whether or not Teddy was loyal to the company she works for, Aegis, and what her favorite animal was. She had a brief image or memory of a coyote being shot by her father before saying that a dog was her favorite animal. She was later brought together by Cassie and Helena to go and find Drex. The 3 of you ended up at Edgewater Hospital, rundown hospital that is basically disaffected now. You found Drex. You also found a bunch of strange people who turned out to be ghouls, not vampires, but ghouls who called themselves the Samaritans. They surrounded you, threatened violence, and talked a lot about something strange and weird being hidden in the basement of the hospital, but only Cassie and the people of her blood could see it without going crazy, because, well, they're already crazy. Having learned all that, you all left to go back to the Snake Pit, the store owned by Helena, where you were hoping to meet with some of your Oraculi, the mentors that you've been assigned. Meanwhile, Cassie, in the back room, met Cora, the daughter of Cassie's adoptive mother, April, who said that her mother had sent her to get help. And Teddy, on the way home, had another encounter, this time with a coyote, where she stood out in the streets, watched this coyote, and at a moment shared a moment with a coyote before he was frightened away, padded off into darkness, and Teddy went back to the car and was driven home. If I've left anything out, go watch the VOD. That's all I got to say about it. My friends, we begin right where we left off. Well, let's begin right where we left off, with Cassie being in the back room of the Snake Video Cult shop owned by Helena with Cora. Helena and Drex being in the front of the store with Gilgamesh, the Destroyer of Worlds, waiting for some people to show up. And Teddy being in the back of the car being driven home. And so let's see where all these people are sort of landing. Cassie, the last thing that had occurred, you had heard some noise. You had heard April. You were in the front room and you heard April in the back room talking to herself as if she was cleaning the place. And when you walked out back and entered into the storeroom, you found not April, but her daughter, Cora, who you'd been looking for, who said, hello, Cassie. My mother said you would help me. And that is where we had left off at that particular moment. So as you enter into the room and see Cora, this young woman that you've been searching for now for several weeks, just sort of standing there in front of you, tell us what is going through your mind and what would you like to do about the entire situation?
Cassie is confused, but Cora saying, my mother said that you could find me, essentially. She's going to sort of not say anything, and she's just going to walk forward with her hand out to try to reach out to touch Cora.
When you do, she kind of takes a step back a little bit and sort of sees you coming, and then will slowly kind of lift up her own hand and reach out and touch yours. You do this with everyone you move for the first time? Yeah, you feel her.
Are you real?
I would hope so.
What? And you're here?
I've been following you.
What do you need help with?
You knew my mother, right? She talked about you. She wrote letters to me and talked about you a few times. I honestly don't know too much about your relationship with her, but she seemed to care for you quite a bit, and always said that if ever I was in trouble, you might be able to help me.
And you're in trouble?
I think so, yes. And I've kind of run out of people to turn to and places to go.
Cassie sort of looks back where she knows Helena and Drexter are. What kind of trouble?
I know you were looking for me. You're not the only person who was. Did my mother ever tell you about where she grew up?
No. I don't. I mean, she might have. I don't remember. No.
I don't know if you know of this, but in the 1950s, there was an orphanage, the Lady of Angels, that burned down. A number of children and the nuns who ran the place died in the fire. This was in the 1950s, 1958, I believe.
Fire? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, fire.
My mother at that time was at the orphanage.
Oh.
She and 3 of her friends had managed to escape, and they were lost. They were counted as dead, and the bodies, of course, could not be recovered, and they sort of made their own way from there. I don't remember the name of the others. There was a boy and there was two girls, 2 sisters. I think their family name was Dufresne, but I don't remember their names. But the 4 of them managed to escape from that place, and I don't know why this person would have an interest in my mother because of this, but there's a man in town. His name is Giovanni, Attius Giovanni. I don't know if his name means anything to you.
Cassie starts to rock a little bit. Giovanni, okay. And he's looking for you. Is he looking for you because you are April's daughter?
I don't know. All I know is that he was somehow involved in what occurred at the fire. And I heard that he was looking for me. I don't know if it's in relation to my mother or anything, but like I said, he was somehow connected to this fire situation, or his family was, something like that. I don't know the details of it, but I heard that he was looking for me. I went looking for him. I hired some people to come and escort me, and we went to this party that he was at to try and confront him, but he wouldn't talk to us because of the people I was with. I was hoping to get him to talk to me and tell me what's going on, but he wouldn't. And ever since that time, ever since I confronted him about this, I feel like, do you ever feel like you're just fading away and disappearing?
Cassie stops rocking. Yes. 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 All the time.
I feel that way all the time too now. I feel like ever since these people came into my life and took notice of me and became interested in me, that I'm becoming less and less like my value as a living being on this earth is becoming flimsier and flimsier with time, and I sometimes feel like people can see right through me.
Did they do anything to you? Did you drink anything?
No, I've just been trying to stay under the radar, hide out. There was somebody else also, someone called Professor Halling, who was involved in all this. And there's something there, a pattern that I try to see. It's kind of like I can see it, but the more I step back from it and look at it, the more it kind of becomes like this weird, strange, almost labyrinth, and I get lost and I can't think straight, and the connections just completely disappear. But when I'm not trying to think about it, it feels like these are all pieces that should connect together somehow. I just can't wrap my mind around it ever. It's just constantly.
We should talk to my friends. We're in a bad spot, particularly right now. I've been looking for you, but we can't cause waves. We can't cause waves because if we do, we only have a couple of days, and then we will be dead.
I'm sorry, that's horrible. Maybe I shouldn't have come.
No. It was good that you came. It was good that we know that you're alive. You're here. You shouldn't look into Giovanni any further. You should stay away from him.
Oh, okay. Is he dangerous?
Yes, he's very dangerous.
And what about Professor Halling?
Less dangerous?
You also, I'm just going to say this to Mary in case you're not clear, maybe you are, but as far as you know, Professor Halling was an elder Malkavian and he's dead. He was killed for his role in the fire. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're staying somewhere safe. You're staying. Where are you staying?
I'm just at that moment, you hear a loud sound coming from the front of the store. Let's rewind a couple of minutes. Drex and Helena, you're in the front of the store. You saw Cassie walk out towards the back, not saying a word, just went into the back room. The two of you are there. You were watching someone had been following you. I don't remember who it was that had stepped out. I think it was Cassie, maybe, or had stepped out and had seen someone hiding in an alley just outside the store.
I think it was Helena who saw it.
Helena?
Yeah.
So what are the two of you doing?
I think Helena is locking the door, obviously. And if the open sign is flipped to open, she's flipping it to close. And sort of just making sure that no windows or doors leading out are accessible.
Drexen's going to be kind of taking stock of his situation and reaching in his pocket to pull out a pad and pencil. He's going to start just feverishly writing down everything he can remember for what he is sure is about to be an interrogation when Sunshine arrives.
Funny you should mention that, because Elena, as you're closing the doors and locking everything and about to draw the blinds, you see come around a corner, not the corner where you saw someone hiding, but another corner. Someone you recognize as, in fact, Sunshine, the Nosferatu, who is the Oraculi of Drex. He is a young, thin young-looking man with shock of blonde hair, glasses. He's got a cigarette across his mouth. Wears a jean jacket, and he's got his hands in his pocket, and he's just walking towards the store very nonchalantly.
I think she would open the front door very quickly and sort of like hiss for him to come in.
He comes in.
And she'll close it tight and lock it. Thanks. I know.
Fuck you been, Drex?
He watches. Drex kind of stops writing and just kind of freezes in space for a moment. Slowly looks up. Old hospital. I was following up on some leads, and I was attacked.
Yeah, man, you look like you're in bad shape. You all right there, buddy?
I'll survive. And he kind of looks around for a moment. We need to talk.
Yeah, you look like, are you still bleeding? Are you okay? Do you need blood, man? He's like opening up your jacket and sort of looking at you. What happened to you?
He will reach into his jacket pocket and pull out the stake and just kind of hold it straight in front of him.
Whoa. Bring your own party favors?
Oh, that came out of my chest.
All right. Who put it there?
Some weirdo named Silver.
Silver.
Not the worst.
He pulls out a little pocket computer, starts playing with it, fiddling with it.
Sunshine, I didn't do this. This wasn't me. This wasn't me. I didn't start this.
No, but what were you doing out there? And as he says that, you hear and the snake comes just barreling out and jumping right at him. And he just kind of ducks, and the snake sort of flies off over his shoulder and rolls on the ground. What the flying fucking snake?
What did you do to Gil?
The hell is that thing?
It's my snake.
The fucking thing almost took my head off.
I think you upset him. What did you do?
I didn't fucking do anything to him. I'm talking to Drex.
I think that Helena would sort of go to the snake and try and hold a hand out to it.
As soon as you approach, the snake totally calms down, coils up, lets you pick him up, starts coiling around your arm. Oh, fucking weird, lady. Jesus Christ.
That's the weirdest thing you've seen?
In the past 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Look, flying snakes? Oh, all right, fine. Forget it. Like, just feed that thing something. Give it a fucking gerbil or something.
Surely there's a rat around here somewhere. I think that's what Helena's going to do. Is she's going to look for something to feed Gil.
Drex, he turns back to you and goes, I don't have anything on the silver. Can you give me a description?
I didn't get a great look at him.
All right, so he staked you, and then what? Damn, did he fondle you? What was it? Was this like a weird sex thing?
No, there's a few things, so you might want to keep that computer out. I saw a lot of dead bodies. 33. And there were tally marks on a wall. 33 of them. 33. And then...
like fresh bodies?
They weren't crazy. They weren't very old. And there was a black handprint with a red handprint over top of it.
Whoa. Back that shit up. A black handprint?
Yeah.
Okay, could this have been like, I don't know, some fucking cold merchant who just happened to have coal dust on his hands and leaned in while he was taking a piss or something, or...
No, this was on purpose. This was a symbol.
Did it look old?
The black handprint looked old. The red one was new.
Old, like decades? Come on, work with me here, Drex.
It's a lot, I'm thinking. I wouldn't say... Maybe. It's hard to tell.
Right, well, that ain't good, man.
Well, we haven't gotten to the worst part yet.
He seems really worried right now.
He, while I was staked, he took a large amount of my blood. Kept it.
Like for a snack later?
I don't know. Said he could use it to do things to me.
Huh. I don't know nothing about that. I mean, some people say the warlocks can do some weird shit with that, but...
He seemed to know a lot, but he said he could use it to essentially torture and kill me if I don't tell him, or at least find out and tell him where Charlotte Rojas sleeps.
The fucking Tremere Regent? And as he says that, you hear a tunk on the window up front.
I think Helena would sort of give you guys both a hand, like, it's my shop, I'll answer it.
You go to the front door, you see Hayden there, your Oraculi. He looks, as always, kind of slightly annoyed.
I love that. I won't apologize for who I am. She's gonna unlock the door and let it crack open just enough for him to slip in.
He comes in, he's a tall, lean fellow, he's got tattoos. He's just wearing like a wide striped shirt, blonde hair kind of part to the side. He looks a little bit cadaverous, but he's got tattoos around his neck and on his arms. Looks a bit like a sad boy.
Is he a little bit beefy by chance?
Yeah, he's a little bit beefy.
Yes, good stuff. Anyway.
Just sprinkling crack in front of Bones. You have an entire party going on here.
Some shit got fucked up.
So I gather. Sunshine. Hey, funny about that. Mention the fucking warlocks and poof, one appears just like the fucking devil. What was that about warlocks?
I told you shit got fucked up.
All right, but now could you tell me exactly what that shit was and how it got fucked up so that we can maybe look into disentangling the entire thing?
Be my guest, Drex.
A lot of my blood was taken. Being used to threaten me if I don't find out information.
Who did that?
Some wacko named Silver.
He looks over at Sunshine. Sunshine's like, don't know, man. All right. So how about you start from the beginning and tell me exactly everything that happened tonight. We're not going to roleplay all that, but we'll assume you go through and tell him all of that. as you retell him the story and as you tell him everything that's happened, when you mention the black hand to him the second time, you see a shift in him, like something tilts. And he turns around and he grabs the first heavy thing that he can see. Let's say the cash register that's on the counter. And he grabs that and he hurls that with all his might right away across the fucking store, and it crashes into a bunch of the shelves, brings everything down. Like he tilted the second you said the black hand, like his mind went somewhere else. Cassie, this is what you heard crashing in the front of the room. And as he very angrily does that, we will cut away across the city to a car driving. In the back of the vehicle, Teddy. You're a little reeling from your encounter with the coyote, and you've been hungry all night. You were hungry earlier. You saw a lot of blood at the hospital. You managed to keep your cool then. But as you sit there in the back of the car, having encountered the coyote, this on the heels of the memory that was spurred earlier with Takamura of helping your father track down a coyote and hearing your father kill him when you were a child and watching him get shot in front of you. You feel something you've probably never felt before. There is, like, the best way to describe it would be a deep low growl that you can feel building right at the center of your chest, as if there's some kind of animal there. And the louder that growl is getting, the hungrier you become. You're sitting in the back of the car, and this thing is just growling and growing in you. And you're looking at the front seat where Owen is driving, and you can see the back of his neck right here. And you can almost smell the blood that is pumping through his veins right now. This growl is just growing inside of you. What's going through your mind? What do you do?
I think Teddy's immediate thoughts that kind of cut through everything is, what would Owen taste like right now? But as soon as she thinks that, she pushes it out of her mind just as quickly as it came. And she can only think about the supply of blood at home at her apartment that she knows she needs to get to now.
As you think about that supply of blood, that growl, that voice that's inside of you, that sort of animalistic urge that's coming out, as soon as you think about that blood, you think about how thin it is, how canned it tastes, how not fresh, not satisfying it is. You notice that you can smell things you never smelled before. You can literally smell the oil burning in the car. You can smell the leather of the seats. You can smell the faint traces, that kind of strange ozone smell that comes from air conditioning. It's just hitting you right in the face as if, but you realize it's not even on. It's just barely kind of seeping through. You can smell on Owen, not just the blood, but he seems kind of a little bit on edge. You feel like there's something inside of you that has been dormant for a long time that is starting to kind of awake. It kind of scares you. Do you want to try to kind of tamp it down, or what do you want to do? Do you want to try to fight it, or do you want to try to let it sort of go? What would you like to do?
I think she's going to fight this. She cares a lot about Owen. She's definitely going to fight this.
Would you make me a self-control and conviction roll, please? Okay. So that'd be 7 dice for you. You're looking for 6.
That is 4 successes.
So with well-trained efficiency, your mind now is so used to sort of putting away all these things, compartmentalizing all these things, taking all these parts of you that you don't like and just kind of put them in boxes and put them away. You stamp down on it, you put it away. Within moments, that rumble kind of comes down into just this little kind of yelp that's inside of you. The car eventually pulls up in front of your apartment building. Owen pulls down into the garage underground, goes to the designated place for his car. You're now in the underground parking garage. It's quiet. It's dark. Owen looks up in the mirror at you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just need to get upstairs.
All right, give me a second. He unbuckles and gets out of the car and opens the door and gives you his hand. And come on, I'll help you.
Yeah, she takes his hand.
As you take it, the warmth of it is incredible. Your hand feels it like almost like you're putting your hand up next to a fire. You feel the heat of it, and then you feel his pulse, his blood pulsing in his hand. And it's as you grab his hand, it starts to be a little stronger, a little bit faster, and you can't help but think of all that warm, tasty blood that's just pumping right through his hands right now, and like you could just sink your teeth right into his wrist and you could just gorge yourself on it.
I think it almost cripples her. She kind of stumbles forward a little bit and gets a little closer to him.
He'll grab you under the arms, go, hey, it's all right. It's all right. I got you. Think you can make it upstairs?
Yeah, I just need to get up there, Owen.
Yeah. Come on, let's go. He closes the door, and he kind of helps support you as you head towards the elevator. All you can think about, you're looking at the side of his neck, and you can see that beautiful big vein there, and you catch yourself. You feel your fangs start to elongate in your mouth. You feel them push through your gums. You feel them start pushing your lips out. Your mouth is salivating. He's right there. You just have to reach out and grab a bite. He's just a driver. No one's going to give a fuck.
I'm fighting it so hard. Every time I lick my lips, I'm pushing that feeling down.
That voice that's inside of you, as it's rumbling there, and as you get into the elevator with Owen, and as he pushes for your floor, that voice that's inside of you starts kind of singing with a melody that you remember. There's a feeling that kind of comes over. You're sitting on the porch of your parents' home. It's late summer night. It's nice and cool. There's a breeze. Somewhere, someone's playing this little tune on the piano, and this growling that's inside of you kind of reminds you of that. You're looking out across the pasture. You're seeing your family's animals all quieting down for the night. You see the barn. You see the work that it represents. Tomorrow in the day, you're going to have to dig into this. You know your brother's going to be there. And there's just this kind of sense of something ancient there. Do you hold on to that, or do you push that down also?
I hold on to that memory. It distracts me from what I'm feeling right now, and what I'm feeling scares me more than the memories I might have.
The elevator dings, doors open. You walk down the hall towards your... I'm going to need you to get your key. Do you have your magnetic key on you?
Yeah, she has a small bag with her, a clutch, and she opens it and easily finds the key. And as she's handing it over, there's a tremble to her.
He takes the key and he looks at you and he says, "Do you need anything?"
I need to eat, Owen.
He pushes the magnetic key against the lock. The door opens, pushes it, gets you inside, brings you into the living room, gently puts you down on the couch, puts the key down on the table and says, "Do you have anything to eat in the house?"
It's in the fridge.
He goes over, opens it up. Maybe you're expecting him to kind of have a double take or kind of hesitate, but he opens it up, reaches in, grabs a couple of bags. How many do you need?
Just a couple will do.
Do you want the ones in the bottles?
This.
Do you want the ones in the bottles or the ones in the bags?
A bottle.
Pulls it out. Opens it. Unscrews the top. With the lady like a glass, he says as he hands the bottle to you.
I think she's so thirsty that she doesn't even respond. She takes the bottle from his hand and instantly tips it back, while also still trying to remember her etiquette lessons. She's trying to be delicate, but in the situation, it's very difficult.
As soon as the blood first touches your lips, I'm going to need you to make another conviction and self-control roll, please.
Okay.
You were at 2 blood, I do believe you had left.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay.
What's my number I'm trying to hit?
Same thing, 6.
Okay, I have 2 successes this time.
Okay. So with 2 successes, not only do you manage to not lose control, but you manage to retain a certain semblance of grace and form as you guzzle straight from the bottle the blood. You get 1 point's worth. It's really not enough. Like, you want more. And as you're drinking this, and a little bit of it sort of rolls down the side of your mouth and down across your chin, and you'll find later that it has dropped and stained whatever it is you were wearing tonight, but you're not going to know that until later. You know you need more, a lot more, at least 2 or 3 more before you can sort of put this down.
How is my state in terms of, like, am I still hungry for Owen at this point? Does that at least call that to some degree?
It's kind of like imagine that you're sitting there and in front of you is, a cheap-ass frozen pizza and a gourmet pizza, and you're determined to just eat the cheap-ass pizza, but the gourmet pizza is there and it smells really good. So you can't resist it. You're not going to jump them, but that feeling is still there.
I think she's pretty embarrassed right now that Owen is even doing this for her, or that he's even witnessing this side of her. This is something she would usually do in private, in the solitude of her home. And she would set the empty container down and kind of glance up to him. You don't think any less of me, do you?
It's really not my job to form an opinion.
I should have known that you would know.
You think they give me a job like this, watching over someone like you, and not tell me everything I need to know and give me a way to defend myself if I need it?
Do I scare you, Owen?
No. Not because you're not scary, just because I know you're way too well behaved to do anything foolish.
I think that will be all for the night.
Are you sure?
Thank you, Owen. for everything.
Can I ask you a question before I go? You don't have to answer, but
Of course.
what was the deal with that coyote tonight? It was almost like, it's gonna make no sense, but it was kind of like he knew him or something.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, not paid to guess, so. He gets up, goes over to the fridge, grabs another bottle, opens it, comes back, gently puts it on the table in front of you. Have a good night, Teddy.
Good night, Owen.
Owen leaves the room. I saw that Kurt dropped some advantages for you all in there earlier. You might retract them now that you didn't eat them. What will Teddy do with the rest of her evening?
I think Teddy is going to take this moment that she's alone now to gorge herself to the utmost degree, because she does not want this to happen again, and certainly not in front of someone that she cares for and that she desperately does not want to hurt because of whatever's happening to her.
You have more than enough blood in the pantry to satisfy yourself for tonight. And as we leave you, what's the last image that we see of Teddy?
You see Teddy in a state that nobody ever sees Teddy in, and that is surrounded by empty bottles, gorged and laying on the couch, and there's blood smeared on her face and on her fine clothes, and she's a right mess.
Back in the back room of the snake pit, Cassie, you hear the crashing sound of something heavy being thrown, perhaps crashing through some other things, and someone screaming in the front. What would you like to do?
Cassie turns, and it's like she's almost forgotten that she was mid-conversation with Cora, and she makes her way to the front.
You bust into the room. What are Drex and Helena doing in the wake of Hayden just losing his shit and throwing this cash register? It's like, you can see his eyes are glowing orange and his fangs have come out and his face is like this mask of just anger and hatred.
Helena's pissed. That's her stuff, man. It's my shop. I think that's what she says to him. What the fuck, man? That's my shop.
I'm sorry. I'll pay for damages, of course.
I think he'll see her cut him a look. It like daggers as she's like trying to pick up broken glass and whatever might be laying about.
What's Drex doing?
As soon as cash registry gets thrown, Drex will immediately kind of straighten up and start looking around very inquisitively. I'm going to assume this is much worse than I had initially thought.
Just over your shoulder, Sunshine is lighting a cigarette, seeming unperturbed by the whole thing. He says, "Told you it was bad juju. When even fucking these guys start to lose their shit, it's time to pack up your stuff and leave town."
Yeah. Drex will kind of turn around. You mind if I get one of those? It's been a long day.
Yeah, sure, bud. Cassie, what are you doing as you come into this scene and see what's going on in front of you?
I'm looking around. I'm making sure I look to find Helena first, and then I'll look to see where Drexton is. Is everything okay?
I think so.
Yeah, other than a few priceless, non-replaceable items being destroyed, it's fine. Are you okay? You were out there for a long time.
I found. Cora was back there.
In the back of the shop?
Yeah.
Is she still there?
Oh, I don't know. I heard the crash and I came to look to see what happened.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Okay. Why don't you go get her and bring her up here?
Okay. Cassie is just gonna like turn on her heel immediately and just wander back.
When you go in the back room, you can't see her.
Cora? Cora? And when there's no response, Cassie sort of grabs her hand, the one that had touched Cora, and she starts rocking a little bit. But I felt her. She was real. She was here. Cora?
Do I hear this from Cassie?
Yeah.
I think that Helena will just sort of stop what she's doing and sort of make her way back there and put a hand on Cassie's shoulder slowly.
She like jumps a little bit. Oh, Helena, she was... I touched her. I touched her and she was here.
Sure, yeah.
I felt her skin against mine.
Right.
I had asked if she was real and I felt her.
Is there a back door that's like left open or anything?
There is a back door. Looks closed.
I'm gonna check the lock.
It is locked. Padlocked, as you always have it locked.
Sure. I think Helena will sort of look at Cassie and look past her over to Drex. I could use your help. Maybe we'll find Cora in a minute. Do you think you could help me? There's a big mess up front.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. And she'll sort of like awkwardly pat Cassie on the shoulder again.
Cassie's very like, she's very stiff beneath like your pat. Very awkward about it.
I think Helena wants to be nice to Cassie. I think she does really want to try and like be nice to her, but she's no Teddy. She's no tender-hearted person in that respect. There's not a whole lot of sweetness about her. So she just doesn't really know what. It's very much there.
Cassie sort of will look around for a second. Room?
Here, and she's gonna, I guess, I'm assuming there's a broom in the back. And
Yeah, everything you need.
She'll hand it over and she'll grab a trash bag.
Cassie's just gonna grab the broom and then walk to the front. She's gonna be sweeping the same spot over and over and over again.
That's helpful. This is very good.
Drex Drex will stand up and kind of walk over. Nobody back there?
She must have left. She might have heard the sound, you know.
Mind if I step back and take a look?
Yeah, sure. And I think she'll kind of give you a glance like there's no way for her to get in or out.
Never know.
No way in, no way out.
And Drex will kind of walk back there and start examining things to see if he can find any evidence that there was somebody else back there.
You can do an investigation roll.
Yes.
So you'll roll your investigation plus your wits or perception. Let's make it perception.
Why can I never find it? Never mind. And I'm aiming for...
You're gonna look for, just tell me what you get, like what's the
Okay.
highest you get.
I have 2 8s, a 5, and a 7.
All right, that's pretty awesome. Just as a reminder, right, your ones, if you roll ones, guys, it cancels a success, right? Just
Okay, so take away 1 because I did roll 1.
That's good to know. But it's still pretty good. You go through the place, you do realize, you do find evidence of something having happened earlier. Basically what Helena found, like her two employees knocked out, having been kind of dragged back here. You definitely see evidence of the snake having been back there. But you don't find evidence of anyone having broken in or anything like that.
And he'll kind of look around a bit and then walk back out. I didn't think there was anybody else back there. It was just her.
Yeah, I would imagine that this conversation is within Cassie's earshot.
Cassie appears to sort of be in like her own world as she's just continually sweeping the same spot. It's getting very clean.
We'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. The back door's locked usually. Even the kids don't come in through the back.
Hayden says, we have much more important matters to discuss. If you're done wondering why the Malkavian is talking to people who are not there, maybe you can deal with some of the more important issues.
Of course.
I think that Helena's going to cut him another look. Like, she's really mad at him right now. Yeah, like, how are you going to pay for all my shit? That'd be good. We can start with
You know
that.
as well as I do that most of that stuff is fugazi.
It's mine.
Is that a snake around your neck?
His name is Gilgamesh, Destroyer of Worlds, Harbinger of
Worlds, yeah.
Evil, and Agent of Chaos. You can call him Gil for short.
He comes over. The snake kind of rears up and kind of gets into kind of an aggressive position. But Hayden kind of just walks over. You realize that thing's a ghoul, right?
What do you mean he's a ghoul? He's my snake.
Have you been feeding it blood?
No, I haven't fed him any blood. I haven't
Well,
even fed him
someone
a
has.
rat. How do you know? He's a snake. Snakes don't eat blood. Well, I guess they do in a roundabout way.
No, this thing's been fed kindred blood.
Okay, well, remember that thing I texted you about earlier that you didn't really care about that much?
Well, maybe this will comfort you, but I'm starting to care.
Okay, well, it doesn't, but that's fine.
What do you know about that snake?
He was here in the back where the kids were, and he was kind of chilling. He likes me. Everybody else can fuck off, in his opinion.
I'm starting to like him. So you've not been feeding him kindred blood, so someone gave you the snake. Someone who's been feeding it kindred blood. So another kindred has been giving you the snake.
Yeah, remember I texted you about the guy with the hat and the
Yes.
kids had been knocked out and had been drank from, and remember you didn't really give a shit. But does this mean that you like me if you like the snake?
He
Anyway.
looks at you and you have zero clue what he's thinking.
A man of mystery. Yeah, remember when that whole situation went down, Hayden? And I like needed you because you're supposed to like be there for me, and then you weren't, and now we're here, and now we're having this conversation. So this is fun. Love that.
He turns away and looks at Drex, and they took a point of blood from you.
Yeah, threatened to. Said
You
they
wouldn't
could
say a
do.
point of blood. Magic
could
that
do-
could hurt you or something.
Yeah.
So here's my question. If they took Drex's blood and they can do things to him, can they do stuff to my fucking employees?
Helena, your employees are human. They're literally the weakest, flimsiest life form in existence. Anyone can do anything to them. They don't need any of their blood.
What about a
fuck
fly?
them up, as you said.
You what?
Flies
Nick?
are pretty flimsy.
Yeah, flies are pretty flimsy. What? Anyway, fair enough, Cass. Great point. Here's the thing, though. Obviously, somebody broke in and targeted my shop and targeted me, but left me this ghoul snake who only likes me and doesn't like anybody else. So, is this person?
So they like you and they want to meet you.
Yeah. Are you sure?
I
it's
think
not
you should meet them.
Okay. What? No. Well, what if they're dangerous? I'm not ready to die yet. Again.
Well, and this goes for the three of you. You're already on the verge of dying. Like, I don't know what Sunshine's been telling you, Drex, and I don't know what Nicola, I guess, has been taking care of you, Cassie. I don't know what they've been telling you, but I hope you do realize that until the prince recognizes you, which is not going to happen for a few other nights, you are literally non-existent. Anyone could kill you and no one would bat an eyelash.
Okay, well, I would bat
Right.
an eyelash if somebody killed Cassie or Drex. So anyway, okay, so I
The
should
point
meet
that
this-
I'm trying to make is that the only way you avoid that is by not causing trouble, but you're kind of getting dragged in it now.
Yeah, but we didn't do anything.
That's not going to matter.
How do we fix this?
Well, first things first, you need to find out about that snake. We need to know a few more details before we can figure out exactly who gave it to you. Aren't you friends with, who's that hooker that rides around in a car?
She's not a hooker, first of all.
Who is that sex
Hetty.
worker who...
She's not a sex worker.
She's an American courtesan.
Yeah, she's much cooler than just a regular schmegular hooker. But her
She
name's
knows
Teddy.
Japanese.
She does know Japanese and poetry, which I think is a little bit more than you can say, Hayden. I'll text her.
She should be able to put you in contact with Nora. If anyone knows animals in town, it's Nora. You need to
Okay.
bring the snake to her, but you need to be careful. This thing is dangerous. This thing is very dangerous.
He likes me. How can it be dangerous?
It's a cobra.
Yeah, but he likes me.
It's
I
dangerous
like
to other
you,
people.
and I'm dangerous.
You do like me?
No.
Oh. I could have sworn you said, Helena, I'm in love with you. Here's all my
I heard that
money."
too,
Yeah, see?
I think I heard it also.
but I'm a Malkavian, so who's
Yeah.
gonna listen to me about
I'll-
talking to people and seeing people?
I listen to you, Cass. You keep seeing those people and talking to them. They're
You're
important.
driving me insane. He looks over at Sunshine. Just read them the riot act, would you? And he looks back at you, Elena, and he says, figure out who and what where this snake comes from. Once you have that information, we can take further steps. Drex, if someone has your blood, it either means absolutely nothing or you're completely fucked. And right now, I don't know which one it is. So Good luck. He looks at Cassie. Right. Okay. See about this snake. Let me know what you find out. If this hat-wearing fellow contacts you again, let me know right away. Turns around, looks at all of you. This is probably a good time for you to stay out of any business that's going to cause you too much trouble. I'm not sure how you do that at this point because it seems like trouble's going to get you. But try to avoid getting into too much of it. You only have a few more nights to go. Anna, give me a list of all the things that I broke in here and I'll get them replaced. And be careful with that snake. He steps out, gets towards the door, unlocks it, turns around. Sunshine, tell him about the black hand. They may as well know. And he leaves.
Bye.
Sunshine's like, fucking that guy's pleasant, isn't he? He's like a fucking ray of sunshine.
It's a ray of sunshine.
Like every fucking trope and archetypal fucking notion about Tremere's all rolled into one. Jesus.
Yeah, but he is
Christ.
cute, so.
Hey, I'm cute and I'm not a fucking asshole.
You are cute, Sunshine. So. You get that.
They don't call me Sunshine for nothing. All right, so look, riot act. Stay the fuck away from Edgewater. He looks at Cassie. Stay the fuck away from Daedalus. I have no clue what those things are, and if I don't know, so just stay away from it. Don't get involved. Don't pursue this. It's really not worth y'all losing your heads over it. That goes double for you, Drex. Do not pursue this shit.
Fine. Fine. What's about this black hand?
So you know our word Camarilla, right? We told you about that. We got rules and regulations, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a prince, runs the city, right? Well, there's a bunch of other guys. They're assholes. Call themselves the Sabbat. And they kind of like started appearing after we did. We've kind of been at war with them. You know, they're basically a bunch of fucking wild animals. They don't know nothing from nothing. Their elbows from their ass. They know nothing. They're just fucking, you know, like we're trying to still kind of, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, we try to, we're not fucking monsters. Those guys are fucking monsters. They're just fucking monsters. All right.
Right.
You'll get more than enough opportunity to learn about them later. Thing is this. They have a group among them called the Black Hand, and they're kind of like super dedicated elite soldiers, I guess, if you will. Anyways, some years ago we had a problem. They were in town here. A group of them, they assassinated 5 of the elders of the city before your friend, Hayden, and Baptiste, the Scourge, the Nosferatu Scourge, found him and stopped him. But your friend, Hayden, he's got a real fucking hard-on for these guys. Like, he lives to hunt Sabbat. That's his... When Rojas, the Tremere Regent, brought him from San Francisco, it's because he's an expert at fucking tracking down and killing Sabbat. It's kind of personal for him, I guess. So anyway, so if he says... Be mindful, be wary.
What should we do? They have my blood and I'm either fucked or it doesn't matter, but...
Well, I don't know about that too much. I'll do some research. I'll try to figure it out. Just keep your head down low, all right? Don't do anything stupid. A couple more nights. Things will be all right. Just lay low.
Unless I'm fucked.
Unless you're fucked. You know, and in which case, does it really matter?
Maybe not to you, but it kind of matters to me.
Yeah, like, look, buddy, I get you. I feel you. I'm going to try to find out, all right?
What do you mean by try to find out? And at this
Well,
point,
that's what I'm
Drex is
going to
turning
do.
again.
Like, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to figure out who this silver guy is and what his angle might be.
So I have some crazy devout soldier of the Black Hand.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. You'll have to show me where that place is. It feels like maybe it was an old hideout of them, but the bodies are fresh, so I don't know if it's connected or not. Let me tell you this. The Black Hand's coming back into town. That's bad fucking business. The last time they were here, it was fucking terrible. They killed 5 elders. Like, nothing like that's ever fucking happened. So,
And they want to know where Charlotte Rojas sleeps. You don't find this?
well, what it looks like is that there was a 6th person on that hit list back then, and that was Charlotte Rojas. So they're trying to finish the job, maybe. But it really wouldn't be their style to send one guy to stake you, to fucking ask you to find. Like, this seems like it's something else entirely. But who knows? It's fucking Sabbat, you know? They're fucking animals. What are you gonna do?
At least give me another cigarette before you leave me.
You can have the whole pack, buddy. Slaps the pack down on the thing. All right, look, get some sleep, get some rest. Tomorrow's another night. Don't you go fucking sniffing around the Tremeres. Like, leave Charlotte Ross and all that out of this. Like, you want nothing to do with any of that. The Warlocks, they're not as bad as the Sabbat, but, you know, they ain't fucking good either.
Fine.
And, you know, get your humans to come in here and clean this up.
Yeah.
Nice snake. Cassie, always nice talking to you. Drex, stop fucking up, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
You want to keep this? And he tosses you the steak.
Yeah, I never know when I might need to use it.
All right, well, you know where to reach me if you got any more questions.
Bye, sunshine.
Have a good night.
Bye.
You guys are welcome to crash upstairs for the night. And she's already getting her phone out and she's sending a selfie to Teddy with the snake with the caption of, "Can I talk to your lady? Your animal lady?"
What are the rest of you going to do for the rest of the evening? The sun's coming up in a couple hours.
I might just look around for a bit and crash. It's been a long night.
Cassie's gonna take Helena up on staying here.
Yeah, I think Helena will lock up the store front and leave a note for the employees. And she'll take Cassie upstairs.
Anything else anyone wants to do before we move on to the next evening? Do you sleep with the snake?
Yeah, I think I just let it kind of do its own thing. It just does snake stuff. Whatever. Slither.
You wake up and it's coiled on your chest sleeping.
Oh my god, that's so nice. I'm its people. He loves me.
Early the next evening, Teddy, I will assume you've completely cleaned the place up. Spick and span.
Yeah.
You went to bed and didn't dream of much. You woke up feeling full. You each should blow up 1 blood point, by the way, for waking up the next night.
Do I get more for...
Yeah, we'll say you got like 5 last night. So
Okay.
you wake up and You can't remember any dreams. You had pretty deep sleep. You wake up and get yourself ready, clean, whatnot. You see the text from Helena. Do you respond?
Yeah, I respond to it. Let her know that I can take her to Nora. Nora might know more.
What do you do once you've woken, gotten yourself sorted out?
Yeah, I think Teddy makes herself comfortable. She's in a nice oversized sweater. She's curled up on a couch and she's reading a book. At this point, while she's sitting there, she does something. She does this often when she's alone, though it's not something that's necessary, but she'll cloak herself in shadows. She'll use her obfuscate even while alone in the room. And she's just sitting there quietly reading.
Why does she do that, you know?
Maybe it makes her feel safe. Part of her feels comforted in the solitude.
At some point while you're reading, you'll get a little notification on your phone that an employee from Aegis is coming to see you, the scheduler. At some point, the door will unlock. They never knock. They just let themselves in. They own the place. The scheduler will come in. The scheduler never looks the same twice. It's never the same person. You never really remember them. Scheduler walks in with an iPad in hand, looks around. Theodora?
She watches him from her spot on the couch. And she's doing her best to remember his face. But she doesn't make him aware of her presence.
As soon as he turns around, what his face looks like kind of fades from your memory. He goes into the fridge, opens it up, makes a note on his iPad, closes it, goes around the rest of the room, says she's in here. Jesus, fucking freaks. Goes around, makes notes about a few things that might be missing or need to be replaced. And then eventually he comes to the table and he opens up a little satchel on his side and he pulls out a piece of paper, like a folded letter about this long, and puts it on the table. I'm leaving it on the table. It's an invitation. If you need anything else, just signal. And he turns around, typing on his iPad, leaves the room, door closes behind him.
She listens for his footsteps down the hall. And once she's satisfied that he's gone, she's going to stand up and collect that letter and read it.
When you go to pick it up, you notice that he has very kindly put 3 little mints in a bowl on the table.
Is there a trash nearby?
Yes, there is.
She scoops them from the bowl and dumps them into the trash.
They disappear without a sound. You pick up the letter. It is a letter from Takamura. He had mentioned yesterday some kind of soiree he wanted you to attend. The paper unfolds like on 3 sides like this and is written in Japanese in a very sort of traditional form. And it tells you about where you're going, what's going to be happening there that night. There's indications of several topics that you should brush up on to be able to discuss. And there's a notice that your measurements have been acquired from the company from Aegis, and that you should expect someone to come in later tonight to give you a fitting for a traditional dress that you have to wear for this particular event. At the bottom of all this, there's a written in English, a personal note from Takamura, who just writes, thank you again for a wonderful evening the other night. Your reading of the poem was exquisite as always. I was thinking about your answer to my question about your favorite animal being a dog, and we talked about the notion of loyalty, and I would like, if you will permit us, to revisit this particular notion tomorrow night, perhaps once most of the festivities are over. I look forward to seeing you, and then it's just signed Takamura.
I think she runs her thumb along the place where he left her the handwritten note, and she smiles at it, but there's a sadness behind her smile. She knows that he's going to pressure her more, and she knows what she has to say to him. And this saddens her because she really does truly like Takamura and enjoys his company.
So what do you want to do tonight?
I think she's going to text Helena and ask when she would like to meet and where.
Cassie, you wake up, you slept at Helena's?
Yes.
You wake up, you had the same dream again of that labyrinth, of floating over that labyrinth with the flames wreathed inside of it. This time it felt like you were much closer to it, and as you were flying over it, you felt like just at the edge, the part that was kind of coming towards you, you felt like there was something there. You saw a light, brighter than the other lights that you could see shining in the center of it. And you get this feeling that this was the center of the labyrinth, but just before you got there and just before you saw what that light was, you woke up. And when you woke up, it wasn't very sudden. It was kind of just slowly coming to the memory of the dream of the labyrinth kind of fading away slowly. And you don't know why, but you feel certain that somehow yesterday when you spoke to Cora was there with you. You weren't just talking to yourself. You get this feeling that there was very tangibly someone there with you, but it's very difficult to understand why or what that is. You're not sure exactly what did happen. Can I ask where you're sleeping? Do you have Helena, does Cassie have a spare room, or are you in the same room? Or
yeah, I think Helena probably has. It's probably like a 2-bedroom apartment, and I would imagine she's got a spare room with like just like a futon bed that she makes up.
When you sit up, Cassie, there's a large full length mirror in one corner of the room, and when you sit up, you catch a glimpse of it, and you see that the bed is empty. You're not in the reflection. And then slowly you start seeing yourself again.
Cassie gets up and she goes to the mirror and she looks at herself in the mirror. And she'll start looking around at everything else in the room, listing off all of the things that she can see. And I think if Helena is up at this moment, she'll hear like these murmurings coming from Cassie as she's just staring in front of the mirror, trying to calm herself.
I think if Helena hears this, I think she would hear this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
She's up, she's moving.
Snake is coiled around you.
Yeah. She's gonna sort of like knock on the door, the back of her hand, and sort of call, Cassie, good?
Mirror, dresser, windows, bed. Mirror, dresser, window, bed. Mirror, dresser, window, bed.
Cass, I'm coming in, and she's just gonna go ahead and open the door. Cassie.
Oh, good morning. Here. You see me?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Thought I wasn't here for a second.
Okay. Well, you are, so that's good. You sleep all right?
Dreams. The maze. Felt closer this time.
Okay. That's progress, I think.
I know you guys don't believe me, but I definitely talked to Cora.
I believe you. I believe you talked to Cora. I think Helena believes it. Cassie believes that she talked to Cora.
You're going with Teddy today?
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out this whole snake situation.
Cassie's gonna look like at Gil. He's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I never thought of myself as like a pet owner. But I mean, if I was gonna own anything, I guess a snake. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, one that can kill is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Exotic animals are neat.
Yeah.
Vet bills are going to be really expensive, though.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I guess, I mean, revenue to the shop's pretty all right, so I guess it's fine. I'm more concerned as to what to feed him and like the whole ghoul situation.
Did you ask him?
The snake?
Yeah, did you ask him?
No.
You should try asking him what he wants to eat.
Just gonna sort of look at the snake. What do you want to eat?
Do you have animalism?
That's a great question. I would love to be able to tell you. No, I don't think so.
You do not.
No.
You look at this snake, and this snake stares at you. And Cassie, as you're looking at them, you kind of get the feeling they're having kind of like a staring contest. Snake appears to be kind of like, when there's a snake charmer, like kind of just hovering there, moving sinuously like this in front of Helena. And for a brief moment, Cassie, you have this weird hallucination. You see Helena's eyes change and become like those of a serpent, with the slit and the eyelids that close on the side, as she's staring at the snake, and then sort of shakes her head and stops, and when she does, the illusion goes away.
Did it say anything?
No, I don't think I speak snake.
Oh, well,
that's all right.
Maybe you'll learn how to.
Yeah, maybe that. Listen, new skills, new day. I guess I'll just go to the pet store and ask. More concerned about what Hayden said about it being a ghoul to another vampire. Somebody was feeding the snake
Maybe
blood.
You just have to give it your blood.
I guess.
But don't do that. Don't do that until you confirm, because then we might get in trouble.
That's true. But I'm gonna research that one. Actually, and she's gonna pull her phone out to text Hayden. What if I feed the snake my blood.
The response you get is, okay.
She's gonna text him back. That didn't answer my question.
Feed it your blood.
Hayden says that I can feed it my blood. Should I make this?
Maybe we should ask someone else. I don't.
If you're not going to trust the Tremeres, who are you going to trust?
I feel like I should do it, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna figure out whose snake this is. Well, he's my snake now, but whose snake this was. Then I'll feed it my blood.
Yeah. Okay.
You see, that's good, right? Right?
I think that is a plan.
It certainly is a plan. I'm
gonna leave now.
Okay. Are you good?
Probably.
Okay, well, just like call me. You can come crash here if you need to again if things get weird.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you in like 2 hours, okay? To make sure you're all right. Where are you going? You're just gonna go home?
I'm gonna go speak to Nicola.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, do that.
I should probably. Where did Drexter go?
I don't know. I'm assuming you went home. You didn't want to hang out. No sleepovers for Drex, I guess.
I'll go find him.
Yeah.
Where did Drexter go?
Drexton's he didn't go upstairs with you. He just sat downstairs all night.
Why didn't he come upstairs like a... Okay.
So you stayed downstairs at the...
Yeah, he was
At the
just sitting
store?
in the chair behind the front desk. Sleeping, but yeah.
I'm gonna go downstairs then, and I guess find Drexton there.
Okay. I'm gonna call you in 2 hours, Cass.
Okay. I'll just. Cassie looks at her phone. I just won't use it. I should have enough battery then.
Okay.
I'll find a charger.
Do that.
Okay.
Bye, Cassie.
Bye, Helena.
So just to reiterate, because I think I didn't get it correctly. Drex, you're at the apartment building or you're at the store?
No, he was just in the store.
Okay, you're in the store. Right. So Drex is sort of stretching, I guess, and coming to behind the counter.
Wouldn't there have been customers?
No, but you're... oh, that's right. You can't have stayed there. There would have been customers. You could have stayed in the back, in the storeroom
Yeah.
somewhere.
In the storeroom.
Yeah.
You're woken by Ricky, who goes to dump some of the trash from the broken stuff and finds you lying on top of the shipping table. Sir, are you okay?
It's fine. I'm a friend of your boss.
Are you all right? You look, sir, I don't want to talk out of turn, but you got like a massive hole in your chest?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have a massive hole in your chest. I'm just gonna go and dump this in the trash can. I think Elena's in the front. If you want to talk to her, I'll just be over there.
All right. And Drex will kind of stand up and stretch and then walk out of the back room.
Cassie probably is coming down at that point, and it's like, oh, I was just gonna look for you.
Well, you found me.
I was gonna go see Nicola. If you wanna, if you want to, you can come with me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
You okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cassie, Drex, the two of you are heading into the underground city downtown Chicago to talk to Nicola, who is the Oraculi of Cassie, and who runs a theater hidden down there, a theater for kindred. Meanwhile, Teddy and Helena, the two of you are in the car driven by Owen, heading into Logan Square. Is it Square? I don't remember. I wrote it earlier. Where are you going?
Away.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Logan Square. You're going heading to
crazy.
Logan Square to meet Nora, who is the Gangrel Oraculi, who is the mentor of Teddy. I'll give you opportunities to roleplay with each other as you're heading down there. But let us perhaps begin here with Cassie and Drex as you are heading to the underground city of Chicago. And I will find my narration, which is here. As you descend into the depths of Chicago, you find yourselves navigating the labyrinthine network of Lower Wacker Drive and the hidden underground city it conceals. If you saw, I think we mentioned this before, but if you saw The Dark Knight, when they do that big chase with the rig, that's where they are, Lower Wacker Drive in that underground city. From above the city surface lies a realm of, from above the city bustles with life, but beneath the surface lies a realm of shadowy corridors and hidden passages. As you wind your way through the dimly lit tunnels, the echoes of cars and engines and distant footsteps reverberate off the concrete walls. The air is tinged with the scent of exhaust and dampness, a stark contrast to the fresh breeze of the streets above. Graffiti adorns the walls, telling stories of those who have ventured into this subterranean realm before you. You pass by forgotten alcoves and alcoves filled with makeshift homes where the city's most marginalized seek refuge from the world above. Despite its clandestine nature, there's a strange beauty to Lower Wacker Drive and its underground city. The interplay of light and shadow create a haunting ambiance, casting the cityscape above into sharp relief against the darkness below. Yet, beneath the surface lies a sense of unease. This is the realm of your kind, far from prying eyes and the excess of light. This is where the kindred of the city move and operate, and your current destination is a haven for those of your kind. The corridor before you is painted yellow, wide purple. You easily find it. It is the entrance to Nicola Vandermeer's theater, a place reserved for the kindred of the night. The long hall is lined with costume racks and various boxes filled with playbills. Eventually you arrive at an intersection. A sign on the wall reads, Teatro Grotesco. It is a place where kindred playwright stage plays with actors of your kind or bound ghouls. If you have ever been to a show, you know it often lives up to its name, Theater of the Grotesque. Most of the programming is not for the faint of heart. You follow the arrows to the staff and cast rooms. You enter from one side of the side wings, and as you do, you're greeted by a strange sight. A teenage boy and girl sit next to each other, looking for all the world like a newlywed couple. She's holding flowers and wearing a dress under her jean skirt or jean jacket. He's wearing his Sunday best with pants that are a little too short and a hat. And as the two of you approach, they turn and look at you, Cassie.
I look like at Drexten. Hello?
As you look at them, Cassie, you see something. It's like the world around you is being replaced, you look down and you see a trembling hand receiving a wedding band. You look around, you are inside an ancient medieval chapel. There's a very beautiful woman kissing you, her lips on yours, her tongue in your mouth. You feel love, desire for this woman. And then everything is replaced by flames. Drex, as you walking in, Cassie suddenly stops, looks to the left, and then you see her eyes roll over in the back of her head. Needless to say, you didn't see any kids or anything there. Cassie is standing there as if in a trance. What do you do?
Cassie? And he will reach out and gently touch her shoulder.
As he touches you, Cassie, you come to, you see that you're in an entrance foyer, but there are no chairs or seats there, and there are no kids.
Are you okay?
Her flames. Wedding. Children sitting in chairs.
Did you see that?
We should keep going.
We definitely can, but did you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what it might mean?
No, but Nicola might.
I will certainly ask him. I want to apologize. I feel I may have been a bit rude yesterday evening.
When?
I don't know what happened as you were speaking with Cora in the back of that shop. I don't know where she could have went. But I think she must have been there.
Cassie's going to look at Drexten. Would she be able to discern if what Drexten is saying is similar to what Helena had said? In that Helena believed that Cassie believed, or does Drexten actually believe that Cassie was talking to Cora?
I don't know. Do you want to try to ascertain that?
Yes.
So go ahead and give me, do you have Auspex? You have Auspex, so go ahead and use your Auspex. Use your aura perception.
Okay.
To use it, you will make a perception plus empathy roll.
Perception and... Okay, it's 5. Or is this D10s?
Yes,
D8s.
D10s.
What am I looking for?
You are looking for 8s.
Okay, I got a 9 and a 10, but I got a 1, so one of those cancels out.
Okay, but the 10 is a critical success. So,
Okay.
Mornian, what would you say your character's state of mind is as he gives this response? Is he dissembling? Is he being honest? Is he, what would your state of mind be?
He's being honest in the fact that he believes that there was a connection between Cassie and Cora, but he can't logically make it make sense in his own mind.
So what you'll get, Cassie, from it as you read, you will get that, a sense of honesty, a desire of wanting to sort of believe you, a little bit of confusion also, but interestingly enough, also you get a little bit of blue in his aura, which indicates that he is love struck.
What?
Your aura. It's weird.
What's weird about it?
You, Are you in a relationship, Drexter? Are you?
No, I don't believe that's in my future. Why do you ask?
Just something about you, the aura, it... As though you were in love or something.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. You don't have to say that you believe me when I'm talking to people.
I do believe you.
I know it just doesn't make sense for you logically. So, it's okay. No one really believes me most of the time, so.
It doesn't matter what other people believe or don't believe. Cassie, I have no doubt you made some sort of connection. You just have to understand that in my world, logic is the only thing that makes sense. I don't fully understand exactly what could have happened.
I don't know either.
Perhaps Nikolai will be able to shed some light on that for us.
Nicola,
my apologies.
she won't like it if you get her name wrong.
I can only imagine. We'll try not to have that happen. Shall we?
Sure.
As you walk into the theater itself, the first thing you notice is that there are people in the seats. The lights are down. There's lights on the stage where you can see a number of people that look like they're maybe doing a reading or something, but you can see people in the seats. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 people spread throughout the room. They're all sitting there, unmoving, and on their faces, they're all wearing these really black glasses that have no glass, like just sort of blocking their eyesight, and they're all just kind of sitting there, not moving, with these glasses that completely block their eyesight. You come on down slowly. You can hear the voice of the actors on stage. There is a director who's walking around. He's sitting in the seats at first, kind of looking, and then he gets up and he walks around as a number of the actors that are on stage are going through a play, reading a play out loud. Currently, there are two women who are standing up there, going through this play.
The light flees from me, and I am swallowed whole by this darkness.
No, Cora, my dear, you must see this for the gift that it is. Do not fear this darkness enveloping you. This darkness is your brand new light.
How can I? How can I when I fade from this world just as the sun fades from mine? How am I to shine, to even exist in perpetual darkness? One needs light to reflect, to see and be seen.
Cora, my dearly beloved, it is eyes you need, not light, eyes that pierce the darkness, the same eyes that have seen me for who I truly am, and have caused your fragile yet sweetheart to fall in love with me.
Odette, you shine. You have an inner light that makes wisps of shadows and renders the night a golden palace. I have no such light. I am a miserable shade, paler than a winter sun, and getting paler by the moment. Soon, only your eyes will behold me, and I will cease to exist for all others.
Is that not what true love is?
They reach for each other, begin to embrace. From the room, from the audience, here, stop! Ah, that won't do. You're making me want to see you disappear, Cassidy. Your core is supposed to cling to the light, want to fight. You're practically throwing yourself out the window into the void. I was told you had talent. You're a ghost, a flimsy imitation of an actress. I've never seen such immaterial presence on stage in my life. As the actress turns around, crying, leaves the stage, the director stalking about, everyone looking a little bit awkward at the whole thing. You hear a voice from behind you. It'll be ready by the time we open, I assure you. Felix is a tremendous playwright. He has come directly from New York to bring his new play here with us. That is the voice of Nicola, who now stands behind you. Are you okay, Cassie?
I thought she did a great job.
I've not seen you come to any of the shows before.
I didn't know if I would be invited.
Of course. You're always invited. All the kindred of the city are invited. That's one of the few perks that we do have. It's very difficult to see work that reflects our lives and our realities in mortal theater. Here, at least, we get to engage with, and reckon with, really, our own existence and our own fears. We get to strive to achieve catharsis while coming face to face with things that matter to us. Would you like to perhaps come into my office so we can talk?
Yeah, we had questions. Yes.
And as the three of you head to her office, the actress has come back on stage, and the director is, "I'm sorry I yelled at you, Cassidy. I'm sorry. It's just these words are meant to be spoken with a certain sense of passion and commitment to the light and to wanting to retain your humanity. And you're reading this as if you're perfectly happy becoming a ghost and disappearing, and it's not quite what the character calls for. Cora is a character who requires the light to thrive." And as he says that, the door closes behind you, and you walk into the office. Across the city, in the car, Owen keeping an eye in the rearview mirror on the snake that is coiled around Helena. The two of you are heading down to Logan Square, towards where Nora, the Gangrel Elder who has been assigned as Oraculi to Teddy, lives. You have a few minutes before you get there.
Where did you say you got him?
I think she sort of looks nervously at Owen and then back to you. I found him in the shop in the back. It was weird. He was just there and he just really likes me. So I think I just want to keep him. I named him Gil. Well, Gilgamesh, but you can call him Gil.
Bleak, I would like to catch the eye of this snake and see what I can potentially glean from the snake.
All right, you want to roll me your animalism?
Yeah. How exactly does that work?
You will go ahead and you will roll. You don't need to roll. Make a roll, actually. Hold on. No, it's necessary to talk with the animal, but you have to establish contacts first. So you have to roll a manipulation and animal kin.
Okay.
What did you get, my friend?
What am I looking for?
You are looking for a good time. You are looking for...
Always.
Yeah. I'm going to say birds and reptiles, difficulty 8.
Okay, so I have 2 successes on that.
Okay, so you reach out to him and you feel that he is extremely strong, like he has resistances that are beyond normal. But you manage to sort of, by making certain movements and certain gestures, you kind of catch his attention. It kind of loosens around you, Helena. You feel it kind of like, kind of loosen around you, and it's just kind of hovering there and staring, and then it's staring at you, Teddy, and it's just kind of moving, kind of entranced by your movements and the sounds you've been making. You can sort of talk to it to a certain degree.
So here's my question. If I speak to this snake, no one else is going to understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Beautiful. That's exactly
because you don't
what
actually speak. You make hisses and like snaky sounds. So like you're sucking a mint.
God damn it. I'm not sucking a mint for you, Kurt. I don't care if it's your birthday.
I will, Kurt. I'll suck a mint for you.
A lot more than a mint, Kurt.
Oh, hold on. We might need to call 911 for Mornian.
We killed Mornian. We killed him.
I asked the snake, who are you?
I serve... I'm not going to do the S thing because I'm just not going to do it. I serve the High Priestess. I am but an extension of her will.
The High Priestess? Who is that?
Bahari.
Would I know who that is?
You've never heard that name in your life. Well, you might have, but it wouldn't necessarily. It's not someone you've known of late.
Why were you in my friend's shop?
I am a gift from the High Priestess.
What's your purpose?
My purpose is to be a gift. My purpose is to be a companion.
I'd like to do like an insight check on that. Do I believe him?
Do you believe the snake? I mean, yeah. He is a snake. Your instinct would tell you that he probably wouldn't be able to lie. Like it just wouldn't, like, an animal wouldn't necessarily understand the concept of a lie. So you feel pretty certain that he's telling you what he knows.
Okay. I think she drops eye contact at this point, and she is going to look up to Helena like nothing just happened and smile.
You've been watching Teddy go at your snake for like 5 minutes now.
I think that she suddenly thinks that Teddy's a lot weirder than she initially expected. Are you like into snakes?
Yes, we had lots of snakes on the farm that I grew up on. I'm quite well acquainted with them.
Yeah.
She is going to glance up and see if Owen has been paying any attention to what she's doing.
Give me an intuition. Wait a second, you don't have aspects. You're good. So, give me a perception and empathy roll. Be 4 for your empathy and 3 for your perception.
What am I looking for here?
I'm gonna say you're looking for 6s.
Okay, I have 3 successes and 1 critical success.
Oh, awesome. He absolutely does not look like he's been paying any attention whatsoever, but you know he absolutely has been paying attention. He feels a little on edge.
Yeah. She smiles to Helena. I always found snakes fascinating. Sometimes when I was little, I liked to pretend like I could speak their language. You ever try to hiss at your snake? He seems to enjoy it.
I think I'm going to start. You know, does Helena know where Teddy is from originally?
I don't really think she would have spoke too in depth about where she comes from. Not out of any shame or anything, but I just don't see it coming up in conversation. If it were, though, she probably wouldn't hide it for any reason.
Yeah. Okay. I think Helena was sort of kind of hem and haw and say, you know, a lot of folklore around snakes, different parts of the world. Surely this has got to be like a good omen, right?
I'm not sure.
He likes me. I think he likes me. Yeah, he's quite cute. I think he's pretty cute, honestly. And I think she's gonna take the snake by the head and just smooch him right on top of the little head.
I'll say, Teddy, that since you're still kind of having that connection with the snake, that when she does that, he feels pretty happy, and you kind of get the sense that he sort of looks up to her like she's also like a personage of some standing or something like that. Like he's very reverential. He bends his head and he feels blessed when she bestows a kiss upon him.
Okay.
I hope Nora can tell me more about where, why, and how I got the snake.
She knows quite a bit about animals. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, it's just weird, you know. Things that Hayden told me. I don't know. It's just weird, the fact that I gotta like seek this out, and the circumstances around it. Or the kids told me, guy in a brim hat, big hat. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird.
You kind of see Teddy's eyes grow a little bit wider, almost as though she's saying, maybe there's someone listening to us. And her eyes kind of drift over to Owen, and she smiles and then looks back.
You feel him kind of readjusting himself kind of internally and sort of shutting out what's going on in the back.
I think she sort of like doesn't bare her teeth, but she sort of grimaces at Owen and sort of shakes her head at you, almost not like in disappointment, just very much asking like, what the hell?
Oh, I'm not quite sure what's going on with you and Hayden, but I hope Nora can help you with your snake.
I hope so too. Yeah.
We're just about there, says Owen.
Thank you, Owen.
You find yourselves in a neighborhood that feels very kind of neighborhoody. The Logan Square neighborhood where you are is got a little bit of a bohemian kind of attitude to it. The area where you're pulling into has all these kind of 3-floor houses that are kind of built back to back, and there's like these long alleys with little backyards in the middle and the back. You drive up to one of the last ones in the row, and in the back of it there's the alley, but it kind of ends, and then there's kind of a park that begins. And when you get out of the car and start walking towards there, the first thing you notice is that there are a lot of animals here. You are approaching by the edge of the alley. You see that there are laundry cords that are suspended above the courtyards. There are bicycles or toys, that are littered all over the place. It looks like a place of community of people that kind of live outside and amongst each other a lot. You follow that small path that goes around the back of the building, and it leads you to this kind of overgrown backyard that abuts against this alley. The place is haunted by cats, raccoons, magpies, ravens, squirrels. There's even a rat or two. There were 3 rats long ago, but one's gone, and now Nora is the only person in all of Chicago who knows the true origins of the Chicago rat hole. Nora herself is in the backyard, feeding her menagerie. She's a fairly young woman with pale limp blonde hair. She has large glasses and overlarge coat. She looks like she's a 21-year-old bag lady or something. She's speaking in whistles and grunts and chirps, and the animals around her are reacting to her prompts, and they're coming to feed in a very orderly fashion as she's sort of doling out all these different foods for all these different sort of animals and sort of chirping away at them. What would you like to do?
I think Teddy will reach down and pet some of the stray animals as she's approaching Nora.
Teddy! Oh, it's nice to see you. I wasn't expecting you here tonight. And please, come in. Oh, you brought a friend. Is that Helena?
It is.
Oh, please, come on in. Don't mind. Move. She pushes a goat out of the way. Move, Robert. Thank you.
It's good to see you, Nora.
Oh, it's nice to see you. Please, come on in. Have a seat. And she's got like a little wicker set there, the table and the chairs with the big round thing, and they're like under this little gazebo kind of thing. There are lights that are strung around and kind of hang down from it. There are flowers everywhere and plots and plants and so on and so forth. As soon as you sit down, there's at least 1 or 2 cats or raccoons or various other animals that kind of come over and they want a piece. They're like got their little paws up on you and they want to climb up on you, and there's like a little bird will come and start lying on your shoulder and whatnot. They stay the fuck away from Helena. Like not a single one of these animals comes anywhere near Helena.
Oh no, I wanted to pet them all.
Do you notice that this is like really natural for Teddy? All these animals coming up to her and she's petting them, and she seems more relaxed than you've probably ever seen her, honestly.
Helena's kind of sad.
It's like a literal Snow White thing. Like she's walking and singing, and all the birds are.
That's so cute. But why don't they want to be my friend?
Because you got a giant fucking cobra around your neck, lady.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the snake. It's okay, I got Gil. Me and Gil.
They're all like,
ride or die, baby.
I hope you don't mind us showing up unannounced, Nora.
No, it's always a pleasure to see you. I know I haven't been very good at keeping up with you and, sort of taking care of things. I hope everything's okay. Why does your friend have a giant cobra around her neck?
Well, that's funny you should ask. That's why we've come.
His name's Gil.
Like Gilgamesh?
Yeah, Destroyer of Worlds, Harbinger of Evil, Agent of Chaos.
Oh yeah, that's really comforting. She looks over at Teddy. Let's deal with the Gilgamesh in a minute. Are you okay? I just want to make sure that you're all right.
I'm well, thank you, Nora.
Well, you look like you're okay. You're getting enough sleep. You look like maybe a little tired, but
A little. But it's nice to see you and all the animals.
Oh, they're doing so good. Every one of them. They're less and less every year, though. There's always a couple of them missing. I mean, obviously Rufus the rat's been missing for several years, but the others, usually they, you can count on them being here, but it feels like more and more every year some of them just go missing. And I don't know, there used to be kind of there'd be replacements, new ones, but I know it really makes me sad, but I don't know really what's going on out there anymore. Maybe I should get out a little bit more, but I don't want to.
I don't blame you.
So what can I do for you? You said something about...
Yeah. My friend Helena had this snake show up at her shop.
Yep.
It just appeared like from the sewers?
Not entirely. And I think Helena will kind of go through the story that she told Hayden and Sunshine.
So it was just left at your store?
Yeah, and he's nice to me, not so nice to everything else. Well, except for Teddy. He likes Teddy, so that's cool.
Everybody likes Teddy.
I know. I'm just very likable.
Would you mind if I have a little chat with Gilgamesh?
Yeah, go for it. He likes head kisses, so if that's helpful at all.
Oh, well, we're about to find out. And she starts doing similar to what Teddy was doing earlier, but where Teddy was kind of making noises with her mouth. Her noise seemed to come deeper from inside of her, and they're very subtle and very kind of soft, and they kind of reach out, and the snake is immediately like that, like pshing. And she kind of leans in close and looks at him. Both of you can make, if you want, empathy and perception rolls.
Where's my empathy?
What are we trying to hit?
I'm going to say 7s.
I got 3 successes.
Excellent.
There's not a whole lot that I can do with this. I have 1 success.
So definitely you, Teddy, you know Nora best, but you also a little bit, Helena. You get the feeling that she's trying to kind of keep it under control, but you get the feeling that she's not upset, but very kind of wary of the snake and very, she's trying to remain nice, but you can tell that the snake is bothering her a lot. And she kind of sits back after a moment and she says, well, the first thing perhaps that'd be of interest to you is that this particular snake is of a species that went extinct about 250 years ago in Egypt. As I'm sure you've discovered for yourself, he's not a mortal snake. He's been fed vampire blood and is now ghouled, obviously.
Right.
And she looks at you, Teddy, and you get the sense that she's kind of saying, like, can I talk freely in front of, she's kind of like eyeing Helena, and she's like, you get the sense that she's like, can I just say whatever, or what's the situation?
I think Teddy leans forward to her and says, who's Bahari?
I've not heard that name before, but this, because of ancient stories, we tend to look at snakes often as creatures of of sin and deceit. They crawl on their bellies and are supposedly been punished by God, and that's why they are the way they are. But in several cultures, the snake is seen as a very wise and even healing animal companion. This snake, and she kind of eyes him and moves away a little bit, is born of the darkest sin. Whatever blood flows through its body is corrupted.
I don't know if that's right. He's my friend.
Exactly.
What do you mean by that? I think you see a shift in Helena's demeanor where she's kind of sort of wishy-washy about people, and she doesn't really put a whole bunch of stock into her tone of voice, but I think that in this moment she does.
Helena, unless I'm mistaken, your bloodline has not been ascertained. You are Caitiff. Is that true?
That's true.
Now, Bones, she's going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to see if you're lying to her. You can, since you are lying, you can try to defend yourself from this attack. I will say you can roll your wits, and I will say alertness.
My wits and alertness.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're going to be looking for sevens.
So that's 7s. How about my 6s? Ah, shit, I rolled one off the... Can I re-roll that?
Yeah.
It rolled off the dice. I got 2 10s. And that's it.
That's pretty good.
Very powerful.
She looks at you, her eyes narrow a little bit. Well, it's not for me to attempt to unravel the mystery of your blood. Though I'm sure your Oraculi, Hayden, may have suggested that he can do so. I don't know if you've ever decided to take him up on it. But it is an option for you. In any case, my suggestion to you is... And Creep, you see her kind of tense, like she's kind of readying herself for something. Her body shifts very, very subtly, but it kind of goes from being, an animal kind of just lounging and relaxing to like an animal getting ready to pounce. My advice would be for you to cut off its head and burn it.
I think in a juxtaposition, I think you see Helena rear back like a snake. And she sort of puts a hand up on Gil. And she's going to glance up to Teddy. And I think in a moment of anger, she's going to say, "What the fuck did you bring me to?"
I think Teddy looks a bit sad for you, and her eyes move to Nora. That doesn't sound like something you would suggest lightly, Nora.
I'm sure, Teddy, my dear, that the night is still very dark for you and still holds many mysteries. Most people look at us and consider us evil. We have historically been hunted and killed by the humans whenever they've become aware of us, which is why the Masquerade is of the utmost importance. You and I know that some of us are not this way. There are those among us who, like snakes in the reeds, live and breathe corruption. There are those who exist only for the purpose of spreading this corruption. When those are among us, it becomes sometimes difficult to find them, to spot them, to know them, because they are very adept and very deceitful. My advice is not giving lightly. I feel for you, Helena, but I will say it once more. My advice is for you to cut off this snake's head and burn it before the corruption spreads.
With all due respect, Nora, you can go fuck yourself. And I think she's gonna flip her eyes up to Teddy. I'll make my own way home.
As you say that and stand up, you hear a voice coming from the direction of the alley, a male voice who says, "Am I interrupting anything?" You turn to see a man there, wearing a leather jacket, a little scruffy with a bit of beard. He's got some ink around his neck. And as you take this man in, we take ourselves across the city to Teatro Grotesco. Drex, Cassie, you've walked into the office with Nicola. She has offered you seats, has offered you refreshments if you want them. She has blood available if you want. You can get a point back if you imbibe some of the blood that she gives you.
Cassie's going to sniff the blood and kind of no.
Long evening. I'll take one if you don't mind.
I'm sorry to notice, come in just as Felix Sumner was losing his mind, but he is a wonderful playwright. And for someone who unfortunately has the weak blood of the Toreador, he has proven to be very resilient in the theater world. And well, what you saw today was not him at his best, of course, but I do hope you'll come back and see the play when it's ready next week.
I look at Drexton. I guess that would depend on if we're alive next week.
Are you doubting that you will be?
Well, the others didn't. When I looked at Drexton, the others didn't seem so certain, right?
Yeah, let's just say sunshine didn't offer much apart from keeping your head down.
You seem to have a lot of concern, Cassie. What's going on?
I've been I know that's kind of the thing with us, hearing things that aren't there and seeing things that aren't there. I keep having these dreams of like a labyrinth. It's like a labyrinth, and I'm flying over it, and the word Daedalus keeps popping up. Do those mean anything to you?
Have you been having these dreams for a long time, and have you been seeing this word crop up for a long time, or is this a recent event?
a while now. Maybe a bit after. And she doesn't want to say the word embraced.
Mm-hmm.
After waking up.
Mm-hmm. She looks at you, Drex, and says, "Would it be terribly rude of me to ask you to step outside for a moment?"
No. He will make his way out.
And as Drex is leaving the room, I would like to welcome in Lady Magdala and Raiders. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us here on this little vampire night out in Chicago. We're playing Lights, Vampire the Masquerade Revised Edition. Our characters are a group of fairly young Camarilla kindred who are just trying to get through the night. Thank you so much, Lady Magdala, for dropping in and bringing your friends. As Drex steps outside, Nicola will lean into you and take your hands in hers. Have you noticed that some of your other symptoms have gotten worse in the past year? Or is it just these new things that have cropped up?
It feels worse. I keep thinking that I'm fading away, and Sunshine said something about how I wasn't there for a second, and then this morning when I woke up, I looked in the mirror and I wasn't there, and then I faded back into existence.
That may just be we of the Malkavian blood have an innate ability to remain unseen. It may just be this that is slowly developing in you.
Okay, that makes sense. That maybe I'm doing it without realizing it.
That's very possible. There's certainly a lot of these things you'll do without noticing. It's just like a baby learns how to walk and talk without really being taught so much. You learn these things in the first few years as a kindred. But you seem way more distressed than simply a little unintentional obfuscate would cause. You can talk to me, Cassie.
Have you heard of Edgewater Hospital?
Yes, I have.
We went there last night to find Drexton at Sunshine's request. We ran into some people there who were not like us, but not quite human. They said something about the basement, something being in the basement of the hospital that only I could see. Only I could see. People like us, people with our blood, could see without going crazy.
Cassie, a few nights from now, the Prince Calderon, will decide on your fate and that of your friends. You know, I've told you that our clan is not well liked in Chicago. We do no longer have a Primogen seat, and we have a bad history in town. There was the fire at the White City in 1929, that destroyed priceless historical monuments, which was caused by apparently a member of our clan, someone named Odette. The fire at the Lady of Angels, which was caused by Professor Halling, another member of our clan.
Did you hear that 4 of the children survived?
Cassie, there are things I can tell you, but if I tell them to you, you cannot unknow them, and they may affect your ability to be seen as someone worthy of accepting into the Camarilla in a few nights.
You know, we've been looking for my foster mother's daughter, Cora.
Yes, Cora, you mentioned her.
I spoke to her last night. She appeared to me, and Helena and Drexter think that I was just seeing things, but I swear I spoke to her, and she told me that April was one of those children. That her and 3 others, named Dufresne, had survived.
There is a story, rumor, if you will, never been truly verified, but that there are a few children who escaped, that Halling, before he was captured and killed by Baptiste, the Scourge, had taken them with him into Edgewater Hospital. He had some sort of plan in mind, something that never made any sense, but he said he was working on a cure for us. He said he had found a way to bring the light back into our lives. He said that he had found a way, and these were his words. He said that he had found a way to resurrect the light, and that it would shine on us, and that it would cleanse us. Halling was not well. Well, he was a Malkavian, but he was not well even beyond that. His ideas were controversial, to say the least. When it was discovered that he was responsible for turning all these children into ghouls and vampires at the Angel of Light school, he rightfully was declared anathema and hunted down. The school was burnt to hide the evidence from the humans. All those burnt bodies of children are not something one forgets easily. But Halling was deranged even beyond the norm for one of ours. His plans made no sense, but the rumors say that he carried on for quite some time with the other 4 at Edgewater Hospital. And whatever is down there, Cassie, whatever Halling managed to build, whatever survived Halling, whatever is left down there is bound to be treacherous and dangerous, and something Prince Calderon and the leaders of our city will not countenance. You may feel that there are answers for you down there, but I would counsel you against seeking them. Stay up here with us. A few days, Prince Calderon will sanction your existence along with that of your friends. You'll become full-fledged members of the Camarilla with all the protections that come with it. And we can work together to try and find answers for you. But do not seek them down there.
Okay. I won't. Do you think that we'll be okay? we've gone so long. We've gone nearly a year now without incident between the four of us.
You have. You've done wonderfully. I cannot pretend to know the thoughts of Prince Calderon, but I get the feeling that things will be okay. As long as no one gets a bee in their bonnet about you.
We should have Drexter. He has questions about his encounter that maybe you might be able to help with. In the hospital, he encountered someone there.
Very well. You can ask him to come in.
Cassie's gonna awkwardly shuffle over to the door and say, "Drexter, you can come back in."
And while he is coming in, back across the city, you have stood up, Helena, with your snake, are ready to storm off. Standing at the entrance is this man. Nora looks up and sees him and goes, Lee, I wasn't expecting you this early. Sorry, there's just a lot going on, and I figured I'd come by and see you now and then get on with the rest of my things. Who are your friends? This is Helena, and this is Teddy. Teddy is one of ours. They are not recognized yet. They were only recently embraced about a year ago and have been on probation, so to speak, since then. I've been mentoring young Teddy here in our ways. And Lee comes over and looks down at you. Gangrel. You look a bit manicured.
It's a part of my profession.
I see. Gives you a little smile. Well, as long as you let the beast out once in a while, to prowl and growl. You don't look like you do that a lot, though.
No.
He looks over at Nora. Would you rather I come back later? And he kind of looks at Helena and sort of realizes that there's kind of a tense thing going on. She's like, well, I believe Helena was just leaving. I don't know, Teddy, did you have something you wanted to ask me?
I don't think so.
I have something for you, though. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. She goes inside the house. Helena, what are you doing?
Leaving. Helena is gonna sort of
walk out,
shoot Teddy a glance and say, I'll text you later. And
of course, Helena. Sorry.
Don't be.
She looks genuinely sorry when she says this to you.
You didn't do anything wrong, Teddy. And I think she's already on her phone texting Hayden, rapid fire, and probably asking him for a ride. I would imagine she's pretty far from the shop.
He texts back, did you just text me to ask me to come and give you a ride?
I think she's rapid fire texting again, and he gets it back within seconds. No, the shit was fucked. Fuck you. Come pick me up.
Are you gonna tell me where you are?
She's in, I'm sorry, can you remind me which part?
Yeah, Logan Square. Yeah.
Logan Square. I want to say park so bad. She'll text me about Logan Square. I'm
feel like going out to a club?
Yeah, I do actually, funnily enough. And she's gonna send a rolling eye emoji. Very important that you know that.
You'll walk out and eventually we'll come by and pick you up. Back at the house, Teddy Lee sits down. Never seen you before. You, year, Nora said? You've been with us?
Yeah, I work a lot.
Who's your sire, do you know?
I don't.
Are you one of the four?
He kind of sees her sink a little. Yeah.
And you're Gangrel. You want to give me an empathy roll and perception?
Yes, I do. Okay.
What you grinning about, Kurt?
What am I looking for here?
You're looking for success.
All right, I have 3 successes and 1 critical success.
You can tell that, like, there is some sort of recognition. Like, when he puts 2 and 2 together and when he says, and you're Gangrel. Like, his eyes grow a little bit wide and he kind of sits back a little bit and you can tell that, like, he's connected some dots or something, and whatever he's connected kind of shakes him a little bit.
Do you know something I don't?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I probably know a lot that you don't if you've only been kicking around a year, but I think I get your meaning. You ever get really angry? You ever feel like you have some sort of wild animal living right down deep inside your chest?
I don't know if it's anger that I feel, but I think I felt that animal last night.
You seem like someone who's got things pretty much under control. You are dressed in a way and speak in a way that tells me that you're someone who holds on to everything with both hands, squeezes as tight as she can, and never lets go for fear of something growing a little too strong, perhaps.
I think you see me well.
Your walls are going to come down at some point. And when they do, something's going to come out of you that's going to scare the living fuck out of you. And when that happens, you're going to have a choice. You're going to either be able to try to fight it, or you're going to let it loose. 2 pieces of advice. 1, let it loose. You keep it inside of you, it's just gonna shred you the fuck up on the way out. 2, you make sure that when you do, there's no one around you care for. Because I know where your blood comes from. And your blood, it's tainted with some primal rage. And when that shit comes out, I wouldn't want to be around you, lovely as you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look, just tell Nora I'll come back a bit later, all right?
I will.
Take care of yourself,
Yeah.
Teddy.
See you around sometime.
Maybe. He gets up, takes one last look at you, and you can kind of see like a lot of concern in his face, and not like, oh, I'm concerned for her, because it like just like fuck, like this is bad kind of thing. And as he walks out, the door opens and you see Nora come out. She has in her hand a leash, and there is this beautiful dog attached to the other end of this leash. And it looks like it's just been woken up, like it looks a little groggy and it's kind of coming out and it kind of looks happy. And she says, I remember you saying that you used to have a dog at some point and that you missed him greatly. And this one wandered in a couple of nights ago. And, well, unfortunately doesn't get along with some of the others here. And I thought maybe you might want to take him.
I would. And her mood just totally whiplash. She's out of her seat and she's instantly down on her knees in front of this dog, giving him scritches and just loving on him.
As you do that, you reach out to him and he kind of right away takes to you and bounds forward towards you. And like, you know, he's got that look in his eyes like, yeah, I know, cool, you know, and he comes over and he starts licking your hand and whatnot. As the scent of the dog hits you, you're suddenly taken back. You get this vision, something you lived through not too long ago. You're sitting in the back of the car. You're going home after a gig. You've stopped. Your driver at that point, not Owen, somebody else, is putting gas in the car. You're sitting in the back. You hear a strange wet sound. The car rocks a little bit. You look up, there's blood all over the side of the windows. Your driver is nowhere to be seen. You hear a struggle. You hear screaming. Then the door next to you is ripped off its hinges by something extremely powerful. Rips the door right off the hinges. But before they can lean into the car, your dog, who's with you, bounds out, jumps on whoever was coming at you. You're afraid, you're leaning in a corner of the car. You hear your dog just growling and yapping, and you hear someone struggling with him. And then you hear, meow. And you hear, God fucking damn it, my fucking face. And suddenly leaning into the door of the car, his face completely ripped off by your dog's attack. Skin hanging in tatters, blood running down, eyeballs barely sticking in the head, long black hair, gray salt and pepper beard, matted with blood, most of it kind of ripped off, wearing this dirty leather jacket. This man looks into the car, smiles at you and goes, "Hey, you're fucking pretty. You'll fucking do," and reaches out and grabs you and pulls you. You come to. The dog is in front of you. You've stopped, giving him the scritches. He's looking at you very intently.
She shakes out of it some, and she grabs the dog around the neck and pulls it close to her and squeezes it. I'll never let anything bad happen to you. I promise.
Nora says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, just
You
have memories.
You look like you saw the devil.
I think I did.
Meanwhile, across town, Drex, you're standing outside the door. You can kind of hear what's going on inside. They're talking something about a school that burned or whatever. Then you hear inside your head, "I see everything that you saw." Tell me, Drex, as you hear this voice, what's your character thinking right now? Is your character thinking he wants to pursue this line of inquiry at Edgewater and everything else, or is your character thinking like, fuck no, I want nothing to do with that?
I think Drex is very much torn at the moment. He wants to get his blood back because he feels like everything he went through wasn't someone that doesn't take it for a reason. But he doesn't want to cause issues either. Because he doesn't want to be the cause of not only himself dying, but also everyone else. So right now, I think Drex's curious nature is pushing him to try to find out how to fix this. So he would be wanting to inquire.
The voice says, I see everything that you know. And I see what you want to do. If you care for Cassie's, I think you do. You will walk out now, leave now, before she comes to get you. Because what you intend to do will get her killed.
This immediately causes Drex pause. And he starts walking.
Cassie, you walk up to the door to call Drex in. You open it. You look out into the hall. He's gone.
He was just here.
Nicola is right up next to you. She puts her hand on your shoulder. She goes, sometimes the bravest thing we can do for our friends is to leave them when our staying makes things worse. Back across town, as you're about to leave with the dog, Teddy, Owen has brought the car close. Nora says, and be careful, your friend with the snake. I'm afraid there are perhaps things inside of her that are already starting to poison her.
I spoke to that snake. A car on the way here. I'm afraid of what it told me.
Well, you have someone to protect you now. Have you thought of a name for him?
Prince. He'll be treated like one.
I'm sure he will. 2 more nights. 2 more nights and then you and your friends are free.
Thank you.
Stay out of trouble for 2 nights.
Teddy's gonna hug Nora.
She seems a little surprised at first. Then gives you a hug back. You okay, child?
I am. I just really appreciate the things that you've done for me. And now Prince. It means a lot. It won't be forgotten.
Oh, we gotta look out for each other.
We do.
That's why I care for all these little unwanted folk here. Except for Rufus. I failed with Rufus, but I vowed I would never fail again.
Maybe I can come back and see you soon.
Anytime you want, child.
I like spending time here.
It's your place anytime you want it.
Thank you. Again, I don't think I could say it enough.
Go. Prince is going to need to be walked eventually. He's been cooped up in my room all day.
Of course. She's gonna head towards the car.
Helena, a BMW with tinted windows pulls up next to you.
She'll stop and sort of face it head on.
It stays there idling.
She opens up the passenger door.
What do you do? You get in, you look in, what do you do?
I get in without looking. I'm assuming it's Hayden.
You get in, close the door.
Mm-hmm.
You look over to your left.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man there with a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses and says, "Evening, darling. About time you and I meet."
You're the snake fucker.
I've been called worse. And on that note, my friends, we will end tonight's session of Lights.
Can I just paint a picture at the end of the session of
Absolutely. Please.
Cassie going to the bus stop, sitting on the bench, clutching her cell phone, her raggedy ass, broken ass flip phone in her hand, probably like 3.5 hours past the time that Helena said she would call, and it's on like 2%, and she is stressed out.
I was gonna have Helena call her from the car. I don't think that's gonna happen now.
What
you
makes you
forgot
say
to
that?
pick me up from school, Mom.
Poor sweet Cassie.
Always being abandoned.
Oh.
Poor sweet Cassie.
That's some in trauma right in there.
Everybody okay? Everybody good? All right. Thank you so much. You're all so amazing. So much fun. Thank you.